I'm Tammy.
Hi, I'm Aoife.
And this is Shane. We have a 30-foot Sparkman and Stephens design monohull named Soraya. Like our family, she's small in size, but she's big on finding adventure. This year we say goodbye to the 9 to 5, packed up our house and made Soraya home. So join us if you like, as we travel the Queensland coast, discovering the land, sea, and hopefully avoid a family mutiny. Boat tour.
Boat tour. So a few people have asked us what's it like to live on a 30-foot boat. Tomorrow we'll have lived on this boat for exactly 6 months, and it hasn't been too hard. It's actually been very enjoyable, but we'll show you how we do it and show you what our little boat affords us, I suppose is the best word. S&S, Sparkman and Stephens, designed in 1971, built in 1999, so it's a new build. It's still an old design, but it's a classic old design, and she has definitely looked after us. We crossed the Wide Bay Bar yesterday, and I was very happy being in this little boat, even though there was a few waves breaking. But anyway, come up and we'll show you the from the bow of the boat. So we're back at the beautiful Double Island Point, one of our favourite anchorages.
We have a couple of videos of that. I'll put the links in the description of the video if people want to check it out.
Since we bought this boat, we have replaced all the standing rigging, which is all the stainless wires that you see. So the shrouds, backstay, forestay. This is a furler, so that unfurls our head sail. So this is a new profile. In the water we have a Rockner. It's recommended that we have a 10 kilo, but we opted for a 15 kilo, and I think it was a wise decision. We have, in 6 months, in all the different anchorages we've been at, we have never ever dragged once, which is fantastic. It's nice to know that you can sleep at night when it's blowing 25-30 knots and the anchor's not going to drag. So we've got a double bow rollers, so we can put off 2 anchors, which we've done a couple of times. We put the 2 anchors off when we've been at the reef, the outer reef, surrounded by bommies. We wanted to be 100% sure. A really good anchor mate windlass, which on my last boat we used to have to haul it up by hand. So this is a really nice
Luxury for us.
Luxury. It is a luxury. Okay, if you turn around, Tammy, on this side you can see
Optional extras.
Optional extras. We've got a short board and a long board. I should have had 4 boards on the boat, but Tammy stripped it down to 2. Tammy bought a Sailboat sewing machine and all these really nice hatch covers, and anything that's grey on the boat, apart from this is the only thing we didn't get done before we left, our boom cover, but everything else in grey. So we've got a life raft, a jerry can. Here we've got 20, 40, 60 litres of diesel. We've got a 90 litre diesel tank. So we've got 60 plus another 10. So we've got nearly another tank of fuel coming back. So starting from the companionway, we'll move backwards. Under our little Dodger, we've got a nice little Dodger with an awesome stainless steel handhold. Lots of boats only have the Dodger itself to grab onto, and I can tell you in rough seas I would have ripped that off a few times. This thing is rock solid. Since buying the boat, we have installed a new Garmin GPS map. I think it's called an 893, but chart plotter. So there's Curlew Escape. They're heading off. So we've got AIS on this boat. So we added AIS. It's an amazing safety feature. We actually sailed, you'll see it in a few episodes time, we sailed across from Pancake Creek to Musgrave a few weeks ago, and we went through fog, and we had 2 Royal Singaporean Navy ships within 0.5 of a nautical mile. So what's that? A kilometre away. We couldn't even see them through the fog. We could hear their foghorns, but we could see them on the AIS up here.
And they could see us.
And they could see us, exactly. We've got transmitting and receiving. So some boats only have receiving, so you can only see other boats, but we've got transmitting on this boat, so we know that they can see us as well, which is another nice peace of mind feature. We put these new Raymarine wireless instruments, so they go up to the top of the mast, solar charge on the top of that. And interestingly enough, even under here it gets enough, I never have to put it up in the sun, but you can take those off. On the very top we've got two brand new Victron solar panels. They're 120 watt each, so we've got 240 watts of solar. On this rail, because we haven't got a lot of storage area, so this is under our bimini, we carry all our toys. So we've got stand-up paddle, fishing rod. I've got my spear gun, which I've grown to love. We love this, I love this. So I've got a Sovereign barbecue. To power our gas barbecue, we've got a gas locker. And we've got two gas canisters down there. Our steering system, not our steering wheel, but a tiller connected to our rudder. And we use a tiller extension, so when we're coming in to harbour or I want to see, I can sit like literally over the side of the boat and I can steer the boat from, I can even get up to the mainsail or get down to the back with our tiller extension. I have had boats with wheels and tillers, but it's amazing that the feel through a tiller is just the most direct feel. It's actually got a lot of benefit, as well as the fact that when you live on a small boat, this is a room. You can lift the tiller up out of the way and you've got all this clear. We've even got a little princess seat up here. Great vision of the boat ahead. It's also a nice place just to sit on a sunny day, and when we've got extra people on the boat, those lee sheets on both sides, they work to stop waves coming in. They give you a bit of extra privacy. Showering, you may have seen, we tend to shower in this cockpit in here, and so like now we're in an anchorage with a few boats around us. We don't generally shower completely naked unless we're trying to scare off other boats, which has worked once or twice. But down here, this is our shower. So we pull it out here and literally just turn it on. And that's our handheld shower. No, it's not warm. It's very cold, especially in the middle of winter in Queensland. But Tammy's come up with an ingenious shower that we'll show you about, that we've actually used probably a bit more.
I found this attachment online. It fits most water or soft drink bottles, and it's a perfect way for us to rinse off with warm water from the kettle.
We found out on the trip there's no water gauge on our water tank, and we've only got one water tank. But for this tiny little 30-foot boat, no one, and including myself, ever believed that it would hold 750 litres of water, which is an amazing amount of water for any boat, let alone a tiny little boat like this. We've got two cockpit lockers. This particular one, we keep all our dive gear, wet weather boots, but mostly all our wet gear. And the other side, oh, I don't know, we can open this. Yeah, we keep stuff that we don't want to get wet. This is essentially a single berth, but we use it as storage, so you can sleep down there. Both Tammy and I have slept down there when we first bought the boat. Our primary winches are Lumar 40 self-tailings, and they're great winches. We've got two of the Lumars, and we've got two Arcos, which we use for when we're flying the spinnaker, which you really don't need it to be self-tailing with a spinnaker. Ideal winch setup. We've also on our mast, we've got two winches on the mast and one on the boom for when we do our reefing. Aoife is our third crew member. She's good at throwing off or pulling up fender buoys over the side, and sometimes she ties the dinghy to the jetty, so she's pretty good at that. But Tammy and I have sailed this boat generally double-handed. So this guy over here is Ray. He's an ST2000 tiller pilot, and he literally just attaches on like that, hit auto and hit the compass direction you want to go, and he's like having a fourth crew member. Heaven forbid if anyone ever went overboard, there's 4 pieces of equipment, or even 5, but at least 4 we'd throw off the back here. Got old school Dan buoy, which basically if someone goes overboard, we throw that. We throw the 2 life rings. As well as the old fashioned Dan buoy, we've got a modern one, which is called SOS Dan buoy. Grab the handle, do not open, just throw. And I've used one of these before, not in anger, at a sea rescue course, but you literally just throw them in the water and it self-inflates with a canister that you also have in your self-inflating life jacket. It blows up a 6 to 7 foot fluorescent tube, and you can again see that floating from the surface. We've got an SOS button. You'd hit that. Now you've got your GPS position.
When we have poor weather, or even when it's sunny sometimes and we just want a bit of shade, we have this cover that goes between our bimini and our dodger. It just zips along the top.
So when it gets really wet, Tammy made these up, again with the trusty Sailboat machine. So essentially you can still use your winches, and you can still look out. You can look out to the side and stay relatively dry. And then if you come back over here, there's furthest umbrella canvas that Tammy's made up that will fill in this whole back section. Essentially this cockpit is fully enclosed.
We also have a range of canvas covers, which not only provides shade, but allows us to have our hatches open, providing airflow when it rains. Shane's just shown you the outside of the boat, and I'm going to show you inside, so welcome aboard to our home. So I've come down the companionway, and the first thing you see on your port side is our kitchen, or galley, as people call it on a boat. So this is my trusty stove here, stove and broiler. So it's gimbaled, so when we're underway it'll stay upright and won't throw food all over us, is the idea anyway. And I also have a little Omnia oven that sits on top of the stovetop, which I absolutely love, and I absolutely recommend one of those if someone doesn't have an oven on their boat. Here we've got our double sinks, which is very handy for washing and leaving some things to dry sometimes. And
what's that wooden board on top?
My chopping board, which Shane made for me, thank you very much. Very handy with giving me some extra bench space. Over here is my fridge, our fridge. It's a drop down fridge, and I've stacked it with some containers to give me easy access to things, and it's worked really well.
How deep does that fridge go?
I'm like Mary Poppins, it's
all
full
the
of
way
goodies.
to the bilges?
As well as the fridge, under our nav station is a handy freezer. So we put a couple of fans in because we were going through the tropics. They've been quite handy. And importantly is our safety features is our EPIRB. We've actually got 2 on our boat, one in our grab bag and one here. We also have a pure sine wave inverter to charge things like laptops and camera gear. This is our lounge room. You'll notice our fruit's up here because we are still on a 30-foot boat and space is a premium. So this is where we have all our meals, where we sit and watch TV, which is behind me. We watch movies some nights. I think Hugh Hefner may have inspired this lounge room. I was a little unsure about it when we first bought the boat, but it's grown on me as well, so it is quite homely. Here we've got some storage on each side. Shane keeps his tools in this. Underneath the floor is more storage. We use every bit of storage we could possibly use on this boat, so we keep drinks in our bilges. Underneath the seats is also more storage. We've actually got it behind the seats and underneath. So if we pull this out, this is a lee sheet. So for people who don't know what that is, it's part of a bed, so you can clip it on each side here and it'll keep somebody in the bed if you're rolling around when you're traveling. And underneath, just food basically. So we've got lots of stores for food.
Does the food go all the way around?
It goes all the way around, yep.
Oh, that's all food. It's amazing they're not huge.
I like my food. So our living room also becomes the bedroom at night because obviously we've only got one B berth up here, and the quarter berth behind me is full of storage that has been converted into our garage. So we've got some pieces of mattress that fill in to the space around the table, and it's actually quite roomy. As you can see, I'm 5'8", and I can lie quite comfortably like this. It's like a large single bed, I suppose. And for a small child like we have, 4-year-old, almost 5-year-old, she sleeps on this side here. Do you want to show people where you sleep, Aoife?
Yeah, I sleep right here.
Lie down, show us. Okay, so that's our bedroom and our living room combined into one. Next room we have is the V berth. So it's a double. Up here, storage on each side, and we keep some of our clothes and Aoife's toys on the shelves. And our bathroom, or the head as we call it on a boat, is over here.
So this is into our bathroom. Our beautiful rose painted sink. Got some cupboards, cupboard space under there, toilet with a holding tank.
So when it's not windy and we have to motor, it does happen sometimes, or we need to charge our batteries, we've got our little engine here. It's a Yanmar GM20, 18 horsepower. We added a larger alternator before we left, and she has treated us very, very well. And that's how we live. This is our home, and she's treated us wonderfully for the last 6 months. Do you like Soraya?
Yeah!
Can we do another 6 months?
Yeah!
Yeah! If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to click subscribe and the bell button. It's a free way to be notified when we post upcoming videos.
Dorades, some people call them Dorados, as in the chips, but they actually...
Doritos.
Dorados. Doritos?
Doritos.
Dorados?
Doritos.
Doritos?